Welcome to the Bullits and Bourbon podcast, where it's not about the bourbon, but more about who you share it with.
Welcome back, everybody, to Bullits and Bourbon, episode 23, and it's a Friday night episode, so it usually means that we get a little bit looser, but we have some adult supervision. We're very fortunate to have Jim Weigand from Liberty Pole with us, good friend of ours who knows a ton about whiskey and really knows how to enjoy it. So he agreed to come on and be our adult supervision for the evening. I mean, which is good considering.
I mean, you need supervision no matter what time of the week it is.
Shut up. Not all the time. But based on our history from a couple of Fridays ago, this is probably a good thing. I will say that we have had very small pre-production pours throughout the evening. I'd say, right, Dan?
Yeah.
I mean, you've been drinking small.
Yeah, we've
been adults.
We've been responsible.
We're responsible adults. So, in any event, we're going to dive right in. And what we did tonight was, everybody knows that Dan really loves a cock. Chicken cocks, rather.
Can we, stop starting every episode, Dan loves the cock?
I don't think so.
You literally, we got a double cock for you here. A double oak
chicken cock, you just sponsor me? Like as much shit as I take promoting your product, I should have a sponsorship.
As much cock as you take. I mean, I'm just saying, this is, no, in all seriousness, I ordered this one, so this is my fault. I saw this on their website. Chicken Cock came out with the Garden and Gun Chicken Cock Double Oak, and it looked good. I'm not gonna lie, it was an impulse buy, it was a retail therapy moment, and I figured you would really enjoy it. So, why not?
Why not? I'm not gonna complain.
Yeah, I know you're not.
That's why I'll take the abuse all day.
So, that's our pour from the evening. This is I don't have my glasses on, and I'm getting old, but it checks in 120 proof, so it's a puncher. It hits above its probably hits above its weight class, but you got to try a couple pours ago the Chicken Cock Field Ethos.
I did,
the one you had. What did you think on that Field Ethos before we go into this? I really
enjoyed that one. Like Dan said, for 120 proof, it was a lot smoother than I expected. Yeah, did not drink its proof, and I have to admit, I thought Dan was going to disown me, but that was my very first pour of chicken cock.
So that's your first cock.
It was my first cock.
I know.
I'm just saying. You just got to embrace it. So, well, I'm hoping that this is similar to it, because that's what I was going off of, and I saw the proof. I was like, well, that one's 120, this one's 120, maybe it's going to be the same. You're looking at a couple other bottles of chicken cock.
I want to get the Cotton Club and Red Stave.
Okay.
And that's going to be next week's buy.
Okay, so we're going to have more.
Yes, we're going to have more chicken cocks very soon.
A cock party?
Yes, it's going to be a cock fest.
It's just so fun to take advantage of the moment. So, well, go ahead, Dan. Take a sip. Tell us what you think about this specific cock.
Smells like chicken cock.
Here we go again. That's got a nice, big, long hug on it.
Yeah. Citrus, caramel.
Caramel. Is it caramel or is it caramel?
Caramel.
See? Told you.
All right, that works. That's good.
I like it.
I'm never disappointed. I know. Go ahead, say it. Go ahead, say it. I'm waiting for it.
Never disappointed with a cock. All right, so we'll kick this to the pro. What do you pick up on it? What's your tasting notes on it?
Right off the bat, I get a nice, good bit of vanilla and caramel from that double oak, and a nice oaky toasted oak finish on there. Yeah, it's good.
Hug.
Medium.
Yeah,
like a medium hug. Yeah. There's not too much for. I think you said it was 120 proof.
Yeah, I don't think it hugs like 120.
No, it doesn't. There's a finish. It's actually a little bit longer now that I sit with it, but yeah,
I get a lot of pepper. I get some pepper notes on it. I did get the caramel.
See, I'm not picking up the pepper, and I usually get that from their straight bourbon and their rye. You get the pepper, but I'm not picking that up on this one.
Yeah, I don't know. I maybe it's just something I had in my mouth, but I feel like that dominates.
I bet it is.
Geez, there you go again. I walked right into that one. Right. Medium finish, like you were saying. It does. It's a medium. I should say medium hug, longer finish. As the flavor kind of exits, though, I get a lot more oak and vanilla. I definitely got the vanilla on the nose.
Yeah.
Yeah. The toast is present. I don't want to say graham cracker, but now I have Raisin Bran in my mind for some reason. I don't know why. Just a raisin.
So you got through these phases with bourbon. I noticed for the longest time, everything tasted like cherries.
Yeah.
Everything was like cherries, and now recently it's graham cracker and raisins.
Is it this? I wonder if it's seasonal.
Are you just hungry?
Well, I'm always hungry. I don't know. I really have been craving a bowl of Raisin Bran.
That could be it.
That's odd, because I really would prefer honey, or Golden Grams. I love Golden Grams. Golden Grams. I don't know. Yeah, I'm just messed up. But in any event, pretty good. I mean, this is one you can find on their website. If you go to Chicken Cock's website, it's easy to order. They ship to the majority of states, I think. I mean, it took what, about a week to get in?
Yeah, they're really good with the shipping.
Yeah, it was. I think it was 130 bones. So not bad.
No, not terrible.
I mean, I'm not going to go through this bottle like I would, one I could easily resupply off the shelf, but it's enjoyable for a double oak. I like it. I mean, it's. I will say though, if I had to pair this between the Field Ethos and this, I would take the Field Ethos. I think.
Oh yeah,
right what
I mean, you could just tell by how much is left of that bottle how much we enjoyed that one.
Although, from prior experience, a lot of times double oaked for some reason. They take a little bit of time to open up.
The blossom.
So with this being a fresh crack,
yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if you had a few more pours of this, let it sit, and about a month or two later, you come back to it and it's a absolute banger. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the funny thing, especially like you're right with double oak. Sometimes it just takes a moment to kind of, I don't know, blossom's the right word, but I think that's essentially what it does. So, yeah, good pick, good pour, guys. I mean, if you're interested in Chicken Cock, which I don't know how you couldn't be interested with as much as we talk about the Chicken Cock on here. Yeah, check them out. They make a lot of chicken cock down there in Bardstown or Paris or wherever they're at now. I don't.
Yeah.
It seems like they just. You were saying that they opened up a new place in Bardstown, so
it's a spot you can visit when you go down there.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah, yep. Park and
be like your Graceland.
So one of the things that we wanted to do before we dive in, because we're really we got a lot of cool questions for Jim on his recent trips down to Bardstown. He did some barrel picks, but as you know, I've been trying for the longest time to walk Dan into the peat life, the peated whiskey, the peated Scotch, and he's been receptive for the most part.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I'm necessarily the guy to do this with, my lack of maturity, as it would be
as it is with all the cock jokes, right?
Yeah. So you're much better, and you brought over something. Why don't you tell us about this bottle and what it is and what we're going to pour Dan here?
Yeah. So I know that you've been trying to walk Dan into peat, and it's not always easy, but as long as you're willing to try something, it's worth trying. I know a lot of stuff from Islay can be overpowering, especially for someone who's not used to it. So what I brought over here is Glen Glassock. It's a Highland single malt. This is peated and it's aged in virgin oak wood. So I think on this one, you're going to get the peat. It's not going to be quite as aggressive, but that virgin oak wood's going to give you some of those caramel and vanilla flavors that you're used to in bourbon.
Okay.
So it might be a little bit easier transition into the peat world.
Yeah.
So interested to see what you think of that one.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Come on, Beaker.
See at first smell, you can smell the peat, but it doesn't smell like some of the other peated scotches you try to give me where it smells like a Band-Aid.
Sure.
It doesn't
have that medicinal.
Does everybody say basically Band-Aid and iodine when they first get into it?
I never got that, honestly.
I didn't either.
So I jumped headfirst into peat once I found out about it, and I never got the medicinal Band-Aid.
Neither did I.
Off-putting notes that some people get. So
I think for like him and Craig and everybody else though that I've tried to do this with, they all go Band-Aid, iodine, and I'm like I just don't get it, But
Oh wow. Wow.
Have we converted him?
I don't know.
Wow, that's good.
Is it?
That is really good.
Well, shit, pass that bottle on over here. I mean, I'll have me a little pour of that before I do a...
Yeah, and I do taste those flavors that are comparable to a bourbon or a whiskey. But the peat is nice and light where it's not overpowering the other flavors.
Right. And that Highland malt is usually, I'll usually get like nice lighter fruit notes on that. So I think that kind of plays into those.
Okay.
Oh, that is
a little
good.
bit brighter
Smells great.
and sweeter notes too.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I can tell peat's there. But it's almost a fruity peat.
It's enjoyable.
Yeah.
Because some of the other stuff you gave me where the peat's real heavy, very dominant, that's all you can taste is the peat. This, you taste the peat, but it's not too peaty for somebody new like me.
See, to me, this with a cigar would be excellent.
Yeah.
This would be a great with a Connecticut. I think
with a
this.
Connecticut?
Yeah, I think with a Connecticut, this would be.
Look at you getting into cigars.
Yeah. I mean, that's the only thing that popped in my head. I don't know what I'm talking
Don't worry,
about.
I'm gonna sound like I know what I'm talking about.
Did I sound like it? I did. I was about to say like the Missouri. You know, I don't know. No, I think that this would be good, like a Rocky Patel 99. I mean, that's the first cigar that popped in my mind when I.
That's the only cigar that will ever pop into your mind.
I love it. No, I like my flavored ones, my Cubas, and
your breakfast tacos.
My breakfast tacos, my lunch tacos, my dinner tacos. I mean, they're all good. Yeah, they don't give me a hard time on it. The what's the other one? The Tabac. Yeah, those are good too.
Yeah,
So you
like
guys
the
are
flavored
speaking
ones.
a completely
I
different
know.
language.
And I really don't know what I'm talking about. That's the best part.
Yeah,
I'm just
I know.
throwing shit out there.
He's throwing out words.
Yeah.
He's like buzzwords.
I figure we'll get there. So you like that?
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Nice. So we may have to get a bottle of this. So I got to do this for Jim because I think I'm going to make this a new standard when we have.
This is so wrong to do to anybody. and we talked about this before the show. And a little background: this bottle has been passed around for 3 years between Jason and his brother, and they keep trying to pawn it off on one another. No, and one rule is we don't waste bourbon, whiskey, scotch. It is meant to be drank, but you know.
And we don't publicly talk bad about a bourbon by name. So we're not going to reveal the name of this. But the backstory on this is that, you know, we got this bottle. It looked cool, kind of. And
isn't that how all those stories start? It looked cool.
It looked cool, kind of. And we poured it. My brother and I looked at each other and went, maybe it needs to breathe. And I'm like, yeah, for about 5 years. And so we tried it in an old fashioned. It did not help itself. So I stuck it in my brother's car, I think that's how the story goes. And then he found it and stuck it in mine. I drove all the way back up to here to PA with it. And I tried it again, did not enjoy it. And what I ended up doing was taking one of those spires from Oak and Eden and pop it in there. Because in my mind, I'm like, man, we could freshen anything up a little time and age, right? No, that did not happen. So we actually just passed, we're about to hit the 4-year mark on this bottle. Mm-hmm. And the spire has been in there now for 3 years, as you can see.
3 years?
3 years.
I don't think it's going to do anything more.
Listen, where there is
you might need a fresh spiral in there.
You know, Amberana barrel, just break it up. And so we're gonna try this tonight because for our friends that we have on as our guests, I feel it's obligatory that we share these moments in life together.
That's torture. Jim's never gonna come back.
Yeah. You know, listen, I'm doing it with him, so
I am not.
If there's a trip to the hospital, at least we can share an IV in the bill.
You know, I like to say I don't discriminate when it comes to whiskey. I like all types. All brands. I'm always want to try anything once. Mm.
But this has to.
This is completely scared.
Well, there at one of the Boggers shares. Remember, what's his name brought over the Doritos whiskey?
Oh yeah, that was Preston. He actually had that on one of the picks we went to,
and it was like drinking a Cool Ranch Dorito.
Yeah.
I could have drank the entire bottle. That was fantastic.
I couldn't drink it. I tasted it because I said, you know what, I'll do it. But I described it as you got really drunk one night, got hungry,
and ate
a bag of Doritos, fell asleep, and woke up the next day with like really dry mouth and that taste of Doritos left over in your mouth.
I thought it was splendid.
And it was just... I was like, nope.
I'm like the raccoon of the whiskey world.
So that tells you how horrific this pour is going to be. Go ahead and pour it.
Okay, so here we go.
Definitely need to see this.
So this is such a dysfunctional bottle that when I tried to take the top off it was gone. I'd forgotten that it had broken off, so I had to use a wine corkscrew. So this is not its original top.
You're really selling this.
Yeah, I know. This is going to be splendid. I can't wait.
Oh, what a big pour. Why?
I'll share. That was a little bit excessive. I figure worst case, you could just shoot it, but that looks about fair. All right.
Oh, man.
Let's do it. You ready?
Yeah.
Cheers.
This is where people go blind and go to the hospital.
I'm nervous. That hits.
I don't get much of a nose on it.
just wait for a moment.
It's kind of scary. I mean,
it tastes like, you know how
you're in the desert just searching for water, you're just licking, you're like, I need some water.
You know how you chew bubble gum, like spearmint bubble gum, and then you take a swig of like coffee?
No. I don't know anybody who does that.
Just mix match.
Yeah, and then like while you're doing that, you also have a chew in and you swallow a little bit of your chew. It really brings out the flavors of all that.
It tastes like a corn whiskey that was not done right. There's like sweetness on it, but there's a funk.
A funk.
Yeah, there's a funk.
Are we allowed to throw what we have away, or do we have to finish it?
You're the one drinking it, not me.
That's rough. That's interesting. The finish is a mix between, I don't want to say a hug, but more like a choke.
It just kind of dies. It just kind of dies in your mouth.
It kind of kills your dreams.
Yeah. Well, all things said, I've had worse.
That's scary. Well,
we're not going to name names.
We were talking about it earlier.
That's right. And you know where I'm going with that.
Mine's done. I'm just, oh, God, that was horrendous.
Not something I want another pour of, but, you know.
I mean, anytime you want.
Glad I tried it.
You try the bottle.
Like I said, I'm willing to try any whiskey at least once, but.
So, certified. 4 years now. This might be the first whiskey I've come across that has aged backwards.
You know, now I'm kind of curious how old it originally was, because it definitely tastes young.
It was aged a minimum of 3 years.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
was not expecting that.
I don't know exactly what they were aging it in.
Or
pine barrel?
Or where?
A pine barrel.
Is that even legal?
Hemlock.
Hemlock barrel.
The finisher, right?
Yeah, so this is going to go back on the shelf into the sea of sin, is what I call it.
For the next guest.
For the next guest. So, I don't know if I want to do that, though, for another year, though. That might be an anniversary thing. This might be something we do every year. We can have you on every year.
Just once a year.
Yeah.
And you're going to, grace me with that pour.
Yeah. It's going to be a surprise, though. It's going to be like...
Oh, you're going to put it in another bottle?
This is one of those 5 years from now, you see the class action lawsuits online. Have you gone blind? Have your insides rotted out?
You from Camp Lejeune? But listen, here's the good news. I want you to take a sip of this chicken cock, and now putting the cock in your mouth is so much better. Who would have thought, right? Oh, magnificent. That's great now. Of course, I could probably do that with 409.
I was going to say night and day, but you could probably put anything in your glass after that.
Yeah, much better. So, oh man, I'm trying to recover from that. So, Jim, tell us about. So you got to do some pretty cool things recently down in Kentucky, and I mean, yesterday they just put out the whatchamacallit form to buy it all for one of the groups. Tell us about the barrel picks you've been up to.
Yeah, so the most recent one was the most recent two were at Starlight. They are a family-owned distillery down in Indiana, about 35 minutes north of Louisville. So when I go down there, I like to spend a couple days in Louisville. Whiskey Row, it's a fantastic experience.
Yeah,
I mean, there's so many distilleries down there, so many good people, good bartenders, and you spend enough time down there, you'll luck into some good bottles.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, the most recent pick I did was for a group called Pittsburgh Barrel Pickers. Good group of guys, doing a lot of different picks. So we get there and they do a little tour and then they kind of break you off. And because the weather was nice, we got to go out into the field. So cool thing about Starlight, they're 7th generation farmers.
Oh, wow.
So they've had this farm, I forget how many years, like 150 plus years, 800 plus acres. They grow grape wines or wine grapes, all kinds of fruits, just all kinds of stuff. So they take you out there and you get to see all the fields, and we got to pick fresh strawberries and
munch.
Just have some snacks.
Yeah.
Got to eat wheat for the first time.
Eat wheat.
Yeah, it was kind of
Honey Nut Cheerios.
Yeah, it was
made from wheat.
Exactly.
Frosted Flakes made from wheat.
Everything.
Why do I picture
Why do you
them
look
like-
surprised? Eat wheat?
They're like, hey man, listen, we could save a ton of money if we just put our customers out to graze.
Yeah, it was funny. We're driving up to the wheat field, and the guy who's driving our little 4x4, he's like, I guarantee you, Andrew's guy does the barrel picks. He goes, guarantee you he's going to grab a handful and start eating that wheat. We get up there and he's like, go ahead and grab some. You can start munching on it. Just shoot. He's like, look a sunflower seed. There's a husk on it.
Yeah.
And honestly, if you've ever had steel cut oats,
Okay,
it's kind of like eating raw steel cut oats.
that's interesting.
Yeah,
I've never gnawed on wheat. I don't.
For
There's
for
not a lot you
everything.
haven't gnawed on, so that's shocking.
I just put that in my mouth, so I don't know what's been.
That's not the only thing.
Oh, jeez.
But yeah, so from there they took us back to the one of the brick houses.
Yeah.
And awesome thing about Starlight is you get to try quite a variety of barrels. They do a lot of different finishes, double oaks, oak from around the world, French oak, Hungarian oak, all kinds of different wine finishes. So we'll get to try, I think, 12 different barrels.
Well, that's nothing compared to the
So
the other one.
The first pick I was at Starlight was there with the Huff brothers from Liberty Pole,
Yep.
A few other people from Washington, and that was a Pittsburgh Whiskey Friends pick. And we tried 17 different barrels that were offered to us.
That's a lot of bourbon.
At what
Even though
point
they're
are you-
small samples, that adds up.
Well, and it was, and that was the funny thing is Andrew was like, do not feel the need to finish every pour, right?
Yeah.
Says
So-
nobody ever.
So by the time we got in the rick house at that pour, I'm just throwing whiskey on barrels, like, all right, give me the next one, take a sip or two and just kind of make a determination from there. But it kind of makes it hard to narrow it down when you have that many options.
Oh, no
and,
doubt.
And they make
Yeah.
a lot of great whiskey, and they're doing
Yeah.
a lot of great finishes. They really know what they're doing with the barrel finishes.
So it was interesting because you brought over a bottle of Starlight. You brought over this bottle here, the old Rick House bottle and Bond Rye whiskey. And I've only had Starlight once before. I've never had a bottle. I will have two here very, very soon. I've had the Amberana cask, which I thought was very, very good. And I had a large misconception about them until we were talking about this tonight. I thought they were just a Source MGP brand.
Right. So that's the common misconception, and I even had the same problem whenever I first discovered Starlight. You look at the back of the bottle, you look at the label, and you see distilled in Indiana, and you automatically assume MGP. It's MGP. Put it back on the shelf. It's I have how many bottles from MGP? Look, they make great whiskey.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of source brands out there doing the same thing,
Right.
and it's been done before. Doing a little bit more research, found out about them and realized that they were a family-owned distillery.
Yeah.
And And,
which makes it even better.
Right.
In my eyes now, I'm like, oh, well, their family, their craft. They're like Liberty Pole. They're makes me want to go out.
Kind of like Liberty Pole on a just bigger scale and a huge farm.
Yeah.
But so this was one of the bottles I brought back from my recent trip.
This was good.
So this is a double oaked, finished in French oak, and some of the French oak barrels they have there are phenomenal.
Yeah.
That's actually what we ended up picking.
Oh, for the for the barrel picker.
Yeah, this most recent one.
This one like this or similar?
Similar. Yeah. So this one's bottle and bond. That one's going to be cask strength. So a little bit. Yeah.
Proof?
I don't know if they gave us a proof on it, but most of their single barrels are in the 1-teens. They have lower barrel entry proof, so they're usually around 115 to 120.
That's going to be good.
Yeah.
That's going to be good.
Looking forward to that one.
So what are the biggest takeaways for you when you go do these picks? Because I got to go do one. I had a blast with Pittsburgh Whiskey Friends.
Wilderness Trail, right?
Yeah. But one of the things that we've talked about, they're all different, right? Every time you go do these barrel picks, there's a different atmosphere. Every distillery is different. Everybody has different personalities, and they all do it. Like, Wilderness Trail, they had a bunch of barrels set out for us already. They're like, hey, we're going to save you guys time. They probably took one look at us and were like, no, we're not letting them in the rick house. Hell no, I don't blame them. So what are your biggest takeaways from the experience of doing this? Because this is probably what, your 7th, 8th, 9th?
No, like 5th.
Oh, it was only off by 3.
Yeah. So they're all unique experiences. What I found is kind of some of the bigger ones are a little bit more standardized, where they kind of already have, 3 or 4 barrels picked out for you.
Right.
You go, you taste them, narrow it down, you talk it out, and you vote on one, and that's it. I like the more immersive experiences. Starlight is phenomenal.
Yeah.
I mean, going into the field, we didn't get to do that back in March because of the weather, obviously. But still, going through the rick house, going through the distillery, getting the full immersive tour, and then meeting the family that owns it too. I mean, adds a huge personal touch to it.
Yeah, I definitely think that Dan, you and I talk about the craft side of whiskey. And the familyness. Here I know I'm going to get slammed for it, but we go into Liberty Pole and it's like a family event. The comfort level, right?
Absolutely.
They know you. They care about you. You're a customer. Yes, we're a customer, but it's more than just you being a customer. Mm-hmm. And just like with Pat Hoffman out at Lonely Oak, Steeple Ridge Bourbon, you could just tell the moment that he was on the phone talking with us, pride, absolute pride in our operation. Like, this is my livelihood. We built this from the ground up, and much like Starlight, they're family owned, and they're from the ground to the bottle. So it's neat to see that.
Absolutely, and I think passion is what comes across when you get to deal with the people who are owning the distilleries and the distillers themselves, the people that are making it. You can tell the passion really comes through.
Do the taste.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, I think we'll talk about it a little bit more at length, but you can kind of tell when something is rushed.
Like the product we were talking about tonight.
Yeah.
Yes.
Before this.
And it's almost like it's I don't know,
Well, some people are just trying to make a buck. That's it. They're trying to make $1 the quickest and the easiest way possible, and they're not taking that pride and putting in a quality product.
Well, I mean, you take a look at the industry as a whole. You had this boom.
Yeah.
You had this massive boom in whiskey, and people are like, oh, we can do that. We can make whiskey.
How hard could it
be? They create a brand. They either source it, or if they want to distill it. But that's the thing about whiskey. You can't rush it, But some people try and do that and turn around for a quick buck just to cash in on that boom.
Yeah.
So. And then what you get is disaster.
Some undesirables.
Undesirables, yeah.
Well, and it's so bad because it does such a disservice to the industry because, some people who may not be whiskey or bourbon drinkers, and that's their introduction into the world, they're like, why am I going to drink bourbon or whiskey? This is shit.
Yeah. Well, and I think to that point, I think it could hurt the craft
Distillers.
Oh, 100%.
Because you have your heritage distillers that have been around 150 plus years, and then you have your new craft distillers. And if someone tries a craft whiskey for the first time and it's a young whiskey, it's not done well or it's not done right, they just kind of like, that's not good. I'm just going to write it off. I'm not going to try that stuff. I'm going to go back to my, Old Forester, my Elijah Craig, your known brands.
Dependables. Right. Their quality control has been in place for a long time.
Right.
Their recipe is old. They've got money.
Oh,
so they're not
deep pockets.
Very deep pockets. They're not going to cheat an already proven product. And so you're right.
Speaking of deep pockets, chicken cock. I know you guys got deep pockets. I'm gonna throw it out. You guys want to sponsor me or not?
Bottom line is, guys,
this guy just wants the cock, man.
This is going to continue on until he gets every little bit of cock he can handle. He can handle.
Look, I just want to be like Little John when he used to talk about Seagram's Gym. Every time I say it, they pay me.
God, you just made me think of Idiocracy. Have you seen Idiocracy?
Oh yeah.
Brought to you by Cars Jr.
Carl, why do you keep saying that?
They pay me every time I do.
Exactly.
Would you? Okay, let me ask you this: if you got a tattoo, would you get a tattoo of a chicken cock on your chest? Bro, you would. We have done wackier shit before. Way wackier shit.
I don't know, because I can almost lie about it and say it's a Tottenham tattoo.
That is true.
So
except for you have to get "I love the cock" like a Ranger tab over that son of a bitch.
No, not gonna happen.
Listen, chicken cock, here's an opportunity to do something extremely fun, and it will do nothing but boost sales and my spirits forever. If you want to go down this road, I'm in your corner. I'm in your corner. Think about how much it would trend on social media if you saw this guy shirtless with a huge chicken cock.
Nobody wants to see me shirtless. I promise you that.
I think people might pay into a GoFundMe just to see that happen.
Oh, straight up. That is dope.
I mean, we need like $700-800. How much is a tattoo? I don't know.
I love having you on. This is great. Drop us some comments. We might make this a reality.
How do I feel like before the year's over, I'm going to end up with a chicken cock tattoo?
It's going to happen.
You should get it up on your face like Young Easy.
No.
And get a grill. No. We're going to see. Listen, we're spitballing here, but if anybody wants to make this a reality, oh sweet Lord,
no GoFundMe, please. Just chicken cock sponsor me. That's it.
He just wants a T-shirt and a free bottle, right?
That's it. I mean, I ain't asking for much.
They're like, if we send him something, will he shut up?
I'm like, I already buy enough chicken cock. I bought a T-shirt. I'm like, I wish they had more merch.
So you remember when? That I agree with. You remember when we did that picture of the Tottenham jersey, and you were holding the bottle of chicken cock?
Yes.
And we posted it to the
Tottenham webpage.
The Tottenham webpage, and it blew up.
Yeah.
I mean, it blew up like our cousins across the pond were like, "Oh yeah, this fucking guy, man, look at him." That's a horrible British accent, but
where's this team
Peter's going to listen to this next door, and he's going to like, "This bloody cunt," Yeah, so that was a bad one. That was more like a. It was just bad. It was like a Nigerian English.
Don't ask me to do accents.
Yeah.
I am terrible at them.
But I'm just saying, it blew up on there.
Yeah.
So I'd take a Tottenham.
I mean, it's easy to blow anything up online if you do it right.
Well, what's his name just did?
Pauly Shore.
Yeah.
Pauly Shore is
stupid. This is the most ridiculous damn thing.
It's genius, though. I mean, I don't know how he got it to trend so quickly. World, or no, not Pollywood.
Pollywood,
right? Yeah.
Pollywood.
Yeah.
Pollywood. Like how? I know you got a tour coming up. He is funny as shit. If you've ever seen his stand-up.
I've never seen his stand-up.
Honestly, I've never seen his stand-up. I've seen his movies. Like we were saying, we've rewatched his movies plenty of times.
Yeah, Biodome. Right?
Biodome's great.
Encino Man.
Yeah.
A son-in-law. What was
in the Army now?
In the Army now.
In the Army now. So there's a whole... You realize that there are probably people that are listening that are like, what the fuck are these...
Who the hell's Pauly Shore?
Pauly Shore. Well, he's trending for a ridiculous reason. Like, this dude made himself trend. I want to make myself trend.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but you haven't been in.
Yeah, I'm dog shit, so there's no point to it. I accept that, but I mean, the video that you were watching, and like, so Dan's watching this video of Pauly Shore, and him and Jim and I are talking, and all of a sudden we're like, what the fuck is, what is this? And we start listening, and it's his assistant.
His assistant.
Yeah.
It's all.
It definitely sounds staged.
It's 100% staged.
But it was still funny.
Oh,
And so, and I realized what had happened was, I said, what are you doing? And he goes, I don't know. I'm trying to listen to this. This is trending. I'm curious. God, that's the first hook, right?
Oh yeah.
So what did our dumbasses do?
Let's see why it's trending.
It's trending. And I'm searching and I'm hitting like website. And then I realized, son of a bitch, it's trending because of people like me that want to figure out why it's trending. This joker straight up self-trended the trend.
Yeah.
He's a trendsetter.
That's genius, right?
I mean, absolutely genius.
I just, look, he got. He got me.
I guarantee a lot of people are going to look, why is this hashtag Polyworld or Pollywood?
Hollywood. Yeah.
What the hell's Pollywood?
Well, yeah, and because we're idiots, we're going to put. We're going to tag it too. We have to.
I thought it was a person. I'm like, who the hell is Pollywood? Is this a porn star? Like that
it does have a good porn ring to it, though. You know,
But if it's a play on words, right? Dollywood. Could you imagine
Hollywood?
Could you imagine like Pauly Shore's own like amusement park?
oh god,
Oh, full of cocaine, hookers.
I mean,
weed.
Yeah.
the wheels are spinning, aren't they?
Oh man, they're
It's so
going.
bad, but like guys our age, we wouldn't mind seeing a Biodome 2.
Biodome
2.
You know, keep
You know,
cranking them out.
I still quote those movies.
And the Army 2.
that was great, yeah.
That's great.
Listen, we just talked about it. Eddie Murphy's coming out with Beverly Hills Cop. What
4?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Listen, Eddie Murphy, he doesn't age. This dude,
He's a vampire. He did he did that vampire in Brooklyn, and after that he never aged.
he got bit. I think Brad Pitt and whatchamacallit, Tom Cruise bit his ass before he did the filming, and all of a sudden, you know, boom. Eddie's like, I'm 85. I look like I'm 30. You know, yeah, he does. I mean, but he did Coming to America Part 2, right?
I was disappointed with that.
Yeah,
I think that was rushed, just put together so idiots like us. Oh, Coming to America 2.
Yeah.
The first one was amazing. Let's see.
But
2.
I haven't. It hasn't. I don't know if Beverly Hills Cop 4 has trended the way that trended.
Pollywood.
Well, no,
Coming to America.
Coming to America. You know, but I don't know. I don't know how they do this, like with the trending stuff. I know we were talking about that other another certain company.
Oh yeah.
Put it like
Yes.
that, but how they had some socialite media people trending
Influencers. I hate that word, but
yeah,
because honestly,
Look, I'm a
there's
bourbon
normal people, and
influencer.
it's like, who are you influencing?
yeah.
Look, I'm a bourbon influencer, and I don't know shit about bourbon.
Exactly.
Well,
that is my point.
and
Oh
neither-
man, that's a horrible plug for chicken cocks. I know a lot about bourbon.
Well, he knows a lot about cock.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. Second
Chicken
that.
cock.
Yeah, chicken cock. Well, yeah, because you show it because I was kind of dumb to it because we were talking about basically this a particular place here in Pittsburgh that doesn't necessarily make the best stuff in the world. And
you know what, people? Why don't you just say? You can't say it.
I'm not.
I don't know if you can or can or.
I'm not going to put it out there, but there's places that are owned by the Pirates owner.
You went there.
I went there. I mean,
I wasn't going to say it.
and so my take is that basically they hired social media influencers, and if you're going to have social media influencers influence a particular subject,
AKA whiskey.
Oh, I thought you were saying chicken cock.
Well, we know you know the cock.
It's just on your mind, man.
You better understand how to make whiskey drinks, number one. And the emotions that you put off after you mix a mixed drink in a Glen, okay, should not be, I take a sip, that's good. If you cannot act a little bit better than that, the only thing that you need to influence is an early bedtime.
Are you talking about me? Because it's like 90% of my reviews.
No,
that's good.
This is you.
I can taste.
What do you smell? Bourbon.
That's bourbon tastes like bourbon.
Yeah, bourbon tastes like bourbon.
I mean, it does.
And then 1 out of every 10 is like, oh, it's got an underlying essence of lavender and mint with a healthy heart of dark chocolate and cinnamon.
I'd be impressed if he came up with those notes.
Well, he does. Sometimes
Every now and then, I'll pull something out of the pocket.
So my whole thing is that, like, if you feel the need to have an influencer guy, and look, we have some cool influencers in Pittsburgh. We were talking about one, Anna Eats, I think. Is that
Anna Eats. I love everything she puts out on social media on Instagram.
She's top notch, and I enjoy what she does. But if you're going to have people come and try to influence your product, I firmly believe, number one, know your product.
Yeah.
And
know your audience.
Know your audience.
Know your audience. That's key.
But I think
I think that was key, because if he knows his audience, thinks the product's not up to par.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good point. I mean, maybe you're trying to bring in a different crowd. Maybe that was
a
the whole
different perspective, because if you bring in somebody like me, Jason, and probably you, we're not going to review it like somebody who doesn't know anything about it.
True.
It's going to be a hard slam.
Yeah. I would probably not even. So I don't want to be put in a position where I have to be honest and hurtful. Does that make sense?
Well, no, I think you have to, because maybe if you are a little hurtful, okay, maybe we got to do a little bit more, get a different mash bill, maybe put a little bit more effort and not try to pump out 5-6 different, spirits and stick to like 1 or 2 spirits, and that's our key. But it's like we were talking about earlier, when you're just pushing out a product to make money, what's the quality? Kind of like the Pirates,
suffers, right?
Yeah.
Kind of like the Pirates. You know what? Hey, I'm going to trade our best. You know what? Forget this wheat. I know this is top-notch wheat, but I know I can get an ice machine that's 12 years old. I know I can get a pot still that has like 2 years left of life in it if we get rid of this quality wheat.
Bro, we could put some JB Weld on it, dude.
It'd be a hell of a trade.
It'd be a hell of a trade. Listen, in 10 years, we'll never remember this because we'll have done something else stupid.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. This is hard because when you run your business like you run your professional baseball club, I don't think there was much hope when that occurred anyway. When I heard that, I'm like, nah, here we go.
But back to your point about reviews, right? Sometimes being honest can be hurtful.
Yes.
But when I look for whiskey reviews, I want honesty. I don't want, someone reviewing whiskey and everything they taste. Oh, this is great. This is great. Yeah. This is great. This is the best thing I've ever had. No, tell me how you really feel about it.
Which we did tonight.
Exactly. See?
Look at smiles at you if you look at it long enough. Yeah.
And actually, I brought you a bottle tonight that you like that doesn't hit my palate.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's just the case.
Yeah.
Right? So.
No, you're right. I guess I'm always cognizant. Now, in their case, this might not be true. But I'm always cognizant that somebody somewhere put time, effort, and love into this. I am not so sure in that case and in this case if that's necessarily true.
Effort and love didn't go into either of those.
Yeah. No, I think you are right. I think I've been lucky in that whiskeys. I don't think that I've reviewed a bad whiskey yet. Publicly.
No, well, I had. There was one we had probably 7 or 8 episodes where I was like, this is not one I'd gravitate to. This just does not agree with my palate. It's not something I care for.
You didn't trash it.
I didn't trash it. I just said this
wasn't
me.
your gig.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a polite way to say it, right?
Yeah. But
most of the time.
most of the time.
Yeah.
This is hard to come out with anything except for I need air.
I bet you they came out with some great hand sanitizer during COVID, though. I bet you they thrived with hand sanitizer.
Oh, right from the bottle to the hands.
you joke about that, but have you tried the hand sanitizer barrel at Liberty Pool?
What?
That's what they're calling it. It's not being released. But
Damn
when
it.
during
not being released.
COVID,
Not yet.
during COVID, they were making hand sanitizer,
Yeah.
and it was a bit of a dangerous operation to run the still, that
high.
high proof,
Yeah.
But they were running corn through it, and they took all the tails from those and aged them. They redistilled them and aged them. Yeah, and that is a fantastic barrel.
Oh God, I gotta have a bottle of it. Why did you just do this to me?
It is.
Jim, Kevin, Rob, Ellen, please. I'm just asking.
I even asked Jim. I think a couple weeks ago. I was like, "Can I buy that barrel?"
Oh my God, I'll go halvesies.
All right.
We'll do a blind.
That's a small barrel too. I think it's only a 25 gallon.
Oh, let's
wow.
do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we could bottle it on our own. Oh, look, I have a bottle right here. Let's
We can just dump that out.
Just dump that out. Oh man, now my curiosity is beyond measure. I wonder what you would call it, like the Perel pick. Like, where do you go with it?
I don't know.
Huh? Interesting. Well,
I won't give you my notes in case you get to try it. That way, it's
we separate
unbiased.
Unbiased,
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah.
Straightforward. Sounds
So-
good to me.
So you've been at Liberty Pool for a while now, right?
Yeah, I've been working there for 2 years
Okay.
behind the bar, and I believe my first tour was 6 years ago,
Okay.
something like that. So
Okay,
yeah, I've
so-
known them for a while.
Yeah.
So you've been there for a while, and we talked about not every bourbon, not every whiskey is going to hit somebody's palate and they're going to enjoy it.
Sure.
And I've met people that they don't enjoy some of the Liberty Pool, their standard bottle that you can go buy at Wine and Spirits. Mm-hmm. And I had them revisit some of the limited releases that Liberty Pool does, and they changed their mind from some of the limited releases, like the Applewood.
Sure.
The Monongahela Rye.
Yeah.
And they were like, wow, this is actually phenomenal. I take back everything I said.
Yeah. So
Sorry.
no, go ahead.
So where I'm going with this, so you've been there for 2 years, and I know you get to taste a lot. You get to see a lot. So what has been your favorite limited release through Liberty Pool?
That's a good question. Look at you with your interviewing skills.
Man, that is a tough
Call me
question.
Tom Brokaw. Boom.
Just before this, I was
drop.
I was admiring Jason's Liberty Pool shelf because I was, man, you got a lot of stuff. I might have a little bit more, but you got a lot. You got a good selection.
You work there.
That's that's really tough because they're one of the craft distilleries that I've been following the longest. And to your point about someone might not like it and then they come back and revisit it. What I respect the most about them is their growth, right? And they have learned and grown and and gotten better at their craft over the past 8 years. Man, that's tough.
Top 5.
I was going top 3.
Okay, top
Top
three.
three.
Okay, top
Yeah,
3. I'm gonna go pecan pie.
Everybody
Yeah,
says that
pecan
pecan
pie.
pie,
Yeah.
and it's
It was a short barrel, right? And the flavors they got out of that, it wasn't intentional, right? It was just they tried it and they were like, wow, this is unique. This is different. This is worthy of a single barrel, and it is like
It's legend.
it does. It's like a
legend.
local legendary
Yeah,
bottle.
It is a legend bottle.
So I'm gonna go pecan pie.
Okay.
Yeah, I gotta go Old Monongahela Full Proof Rye
yeah.
that they just put out recently. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
That I mean, their rye has come a long way, and younger rye are good,
good,
as well.
yeah.
But
That's what got
their
me
rye's
into
gotten
it,
a little
yeah.
bit older, and it's really in its stride.
That does hit. Yeah. It's a good rye.
And then I'm blanking on the name.
Harold's Barrels.
No, it's a
Fresh squeezed.
peated bourbon that came out earlier this year.
Daryl's.
No,
it wasn't one of
it
Daryl's barrels.
No.
Maybe we'd have to go to the shelf.
Yeah, man, why can't I think? So I remember trying this barrel before they did their triple single barrel release for Thanksgiving last year.
Okay.
And they did a rye themed release.
Yep.
But the barrels they picked before they announced that release, there was a peated bourbon in that. And me and another coworker there, we tried them all, and we're like, man, if you're not going to release this now, bottle it and release it later, because it reminded me of a peated Scotch. Like
Okay.
the peat on that was just phenomenal.
Yeah.
like the smoke.
Not too heavy or
not
just-
too heavy. No, it you know.
Was it barrel candy? No.
No.
You said it was peated bourbon, right?
Peated bourbon.
So it must have been either High Tides or...
Yeah, it was High Tides.
It was High Tides.
High
I was
Tides.
just saying, yeah.
Yeah.
Or Holiday Embers was another one.
Holiday Embers was a good one.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was from, I think, a year ago.
I got my cheat sheet open.
Yes, it's High Tides.
Yeah. That was...
Thank you.
Yeah, that was a good one. See, nerds win every now and then. My catalog here.
But yeah, I'd go those are my top 3.
Nice.
Yeah.
My top 3 now has been shuffled with the release of this latest
Amaretto.
Oh, the
Amaretto
rye. Yeah.
that has me all kinds of emotional. It really does. I mean, pecan pie #1. Boom. And I rate them like when I put them in here.
Oh, this guy's got a spreadsheet
Oh,
and everything.
you should see his menu. He has all 700 bottles cataloged and ready to go.
That's
Well,
impressive.
not-
I mean, I just have an app where I scan them.
Well, his app won't let him scan anymore in.
You've maxed your app out.
Well, the app won't recognize different bottles.
No,
That's the problem.
my app is the same way.
Yeah.
Well, it has an option to
edit.
add
What are
like
you,
add
What
it.
are you using?
Whiskey Shelf, I think.
I use OnlyDram only because I'm on OnlyFans. So.
OnlyFans.
Whiskey Shelf, yeah.
Okay, maybe I need to go to Whiskey Shelf. So OnlyDram lets me scan, but it started to pick up Liberty Pole, and it started to pick up some of the craft distilleries, but it doesn't like everything's coming across as fresh squeezed or
The same thing.
pecan
So
pie.
that's the issue with Whiskey Shelf too. Like once you scan a barcode and you enter it in,
That's it.
it saves that, but they didn't change the barcode.
Yeah.
For the single barrel, so it's like everything comes up with the
It's
same.
not just them. I noticed.
No,
with
yeah,
some
yeah,
of
there's
the,
other brands
like,
that do that, too.
Booker's, it was happening.
It was
with
the same
Booker's, too.
batch, yeah.
So, yeah, I'm so twisted. But pecan pie, I don't know if that'll ever be not in my top 3.
It was just so unique.
It was just so good.
It was.
I had Harold's Barrels was in there, and but now it's tough. I gotta put the Liberty Pole rye amaretto cask. It's just that it's that good, and I think that bumps out fresh squeezed out of the top 3.
Okay.
And I love fresh squeezed. I thought that was one of the most.
That was a good one. Yeah, that was
just a really good for my palate. Just
Yeah.
that it really did taste like you could hit that citrus bomb was going off. So yeah, that was mine. Dan, I don't know if you had it. If you've really,
I haven't had enough to have a top 3.
but you will. You got a bottle to go pick up.
Yeah, I do got another bottle to go pick up, but I've been going down there for the limited releases, which you want Saturdays usually. The Applewood was really good.
Yeah, that was good.
The Monongahela Rye, phenomenal. The Amaretto, I was impressed.
That one last night.
I gave you a lot of crap for your comments about Rio and the Liberty Pole, but
Hey, look, Amberano, it's having its moment. I mean, it's a pretty popular finishing barrel for a lot of distillers right now. And what I respect about Liberty Pole is they took their time with it, and they let the whiskey shine. Right,
Yeah.
it didn't. So Amberana can overpower a whiskey very easily. What I really like about the releases so far that they've done is that you still know you're drinking whiskey.
Yeah.
Right. Like I've had other ones where you could put vodka in an Amberana barrel, and all you taste is the cinnamon.
Amberana.
Yeah.
Amberana. Yeah.
It's
well,
overpowers.
that's what I like. The high rye was really good, but the new release, this new rye they just put
rye.
out,
Yeah.
was just perfectly balanced for me. Like the cinnamon wasn't overpowering, and it was just you could taste it, but it didn't dominate.
Right.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think that was. I mean, we had thieved it out of the barrel and tried it, and I knew it was good then, and I was like, oh man, but you forget, and then when we got back home and we popped that bottle open, I poured it. I was like, man, I should have bought more. Like stupid. I mean, I'm most of the time I try to buy 2 at least, right? Yeah. But we're groomed. We're groomed here in Pennsylvania, right?
Yeah.
You can only have 2 bottles, so I'm like, can I get 2 bottles? You can look around. Oh, I get a third. Ooh, it's like so.
Yeah, it remind me of Peter Griffin. He comes in with a mustache and the glasses. I haven't been here yet. I need my 2 bottles. Jason, get hot.
Well, we did that for the remember that when the first Amberana.
Yes, we did do
Because
that.
You went through the line twice?
Oh, yeah. Dude. Well, Jet. I mean,
we were the front of the line.
Yeah,
and then we waited for everybody else to go. And it's like, all right, there's no more line.
There's enough time. Yeah.
Let's jump back.
Well, listen, Jeff and Kevin were like, "Hey, you just go back through the line." And I was like, "Can we do that?" Because I'm a rule follower. I'm like, "I don't know, man." And he's like, "Yeah." So we go to the line, and some other people walked up, and I'm like, "No, get in front of us. We've already got our barrels." I felt like such a selfish person. And then I got the bottles. I was like, "Yeah, well, everybody."
The good news there is that with Amberana casks, you can finish multiple times.
Yes.
So there will likely be another release.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. Batch 300. Yeah. Listen, I mean, it is what it is. I really enjoy the Amberana. I mean, and I love Rio. So I felt it was a good week. I was vindicated that, your blind samples. My blind samples went out, and I prophesized it, and it happened. I'm just kidding. Jesus is like, come on, keep playing games, right? you're about to see something else happen. No, but it was a great barrel, and this one is probably even better, I would say.
Oh yeah, this one was better than the High Rye, and again, it's like apples and oranges.
But the best part about it is getting back and doing what we do now. I mean, we're gonna wrap up. We're gonna sit around. And we're gonna BS and whiskey is better with friends. I mean, that's to us. I mean, I think that's probably the most important part of it. And we're all dry on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I am now.
So we can't close out with sharing with empty glasses.
Yeah,
so
you're
might
right.
as well top them off.
So what are we pouring here?
You know what?
Oh, you want more of this?
Can I get a little bit more of that scotch, if you don't mind?
Oh,
look at you going for seconds.
Just a small pour, very, very, very small.
Oh, the Pursuit.
Yeah, bust out the Pursuit.
Okay.
That's we started with a double oak. Let's finish with another double oak.
All right. Why don't you tell them about Pursuit, because I actually had this mixed up with another bottle.
Yeah, so the Pursuit brand is from the Bourbon Pursuit guys. They have a podcast. They've been doing it for a minute.
Hot minute.
Yeah, hot minute.
Yeah.
So they have a little experience down in a distillery, blending facility.
Yeah.
Down in Louisville, and I did the whole shebang while I was there, which is their tour. You get to taste. I think we tasted 6 different barrels, and then you get to thief and fill your own. So I didn't bring that bottle, but this is their double oaked, which is it's getting a lot of attention among whiskey drinkers who have been trying their things.
That sounds so bad because I'm a label whore, and if I'd see this, I'd probably walk right by it.
Well, so that was the thing is, we tried it, and they're like, "Oh, you can only get this here." So I'm like, "Well, I'm a sucker."
I'm a sucker.
I'm gonna buy it.
Yeah, you can literally sell me anything. Well, this is the only place you could tell me that it could be at 1,000 different stores, and I could know it. And if you're like, you can only get it here. Oh, can I have a bottle, Daddy? I mean, I have no self-control. All right, I'm excited about this, and we'll cheers.
That nose smells. That's really nice.
This is new for you.
Yeah, I tried a sample of it when I was there, but yeah, it's a fresh crack.
It's very smooth. It's very buttery.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. What's the proof on this bad boy? 108. I can't see it. I have bad vision.
Yes, 108. Yep.
It does not drink like a 108 proof. I don't think. What did you think?
I'm not drinking it. I'm drinking scotch.
You're lame.
That's not lame.
No,
I respect that.
Look, I'm trying to dive into scotch. And this
You
is
want
what I
that
have
for
to
the
do.
cigar, right?
I kind of do.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
He's pouring for what's next.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We need to wrap this up. I got a stogie I want to burn. Right.
100%.
No. What else did you pick up?
While I was down there?
No, that.
Oh. I was gonna say, I brought a lot of bottles home. Yeah.
Like you're about to get yourself in trouble. I got, it's weird, but I got like, it's like a
Go ahead.
toffee.
Right in that same
toffee
family.
Or honey toffee.
Butterscotch.
There we go. Maybe that's
This is a butterscotch bomb.
yeah.
See, Jason just didn't want to say butterscotch because that's another one he always throws out. It's butterscotch, and he knew I was going to bust his balls if he said butterscotch.
So it's okay if I say
So
it.
it's okay. You say. So his big three are raisins now, cherries, graham crackers, plum, and butterscotch.
Butterscotch. That's not my big three. That's
big
literally
five.
like
That's
five.
I can't do math.
But did you see how I did that? I put honey and toffee together, which is literally how you make butterscotch.
Well, anytime you say like toffee, caramel, butterscotch, it's kind of all the
I almost
same.
said it 3 times. Butterscotch. Yeah, I can't help it. Listen, I mean, yeah, but you're right. You're 100% right.
Yeah,
That's good. I enjoy that. I'm gonna enjoy sucking this down out on the deck with a smoke as well. So, hey guys, everybody, thanks for tuning in. This was a fun episode. We love having Jim on, and we're gonna have him back.
Pleasure to be here.
Especially in a year from now, so that when our video, maybe we get close-up cameras and you can actually feel our pain.
I'm trying to get new cameras next month.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
That would be pleasant, but yeah, man, love having you on, and love your expertise with whiskey. You're definitely one of the guys that I know that has not just a deep like depth of knowledge with it, but a really just genuine appreciation and just always fun to be around and hang out with and talk whiskey. It's really cool when we get get you on and have that fellowship. So hope you guys tune in, like and follow us on Facebook, Insta, Snapchat, Gram, TikToker, whatever you call it, all those different social sites. We'll have the video up on YouTube, right?
Yeah,
Dan?
YouTube.
And funny clips. And if you want to see Dan again with a tattoo on the, do you have anything tattooed on the side of your chest?
Nah, everything's
today.
Arms and back.
But you will soon. If you want to see him with a humongous chicken cock on his chest with "I love cock," like a ranger scroll above it, I really want to make this happen.
This is not Jackass.
Oh, yes,
Not
it
Johnny
is.
Knoxville.
It's not. Look at us. Are you serious? This is the most excitement we have left in our lives.
Here's the thing: if Chicken Cock threw a crazy number at me, I might do it.
Oh, listen.
Does chicken cock have to, or do we just have to set up the GoFundMe?
I could pay for the tattoo, but if I'm going to have something like that, I better be paid for it.
I want the viewers to pay for this. I want that.
Is there
I want
any
them
way?
to get the satisfaction of knowing that they contributed to that.
Let's not do the center of the chest. Let's do it so that the eye of the chicken cock is literally his nipple. Because that has character and it's going to be painful. And listen, if we do this, we'll video this.
Oh, God.
The entire process. Yeah? Mm-hmm. I'm just saying. So, yeah, anyways, we digress. Cheers to you, everybody. Thank you for following us. As always, stay thirsty, my friends. Cheers. You're getting that tattoo.
Thank you for listening to today's podcast of Bullits and Bourbon. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe so you never miss an episode.